Hey guys, this is Michelle from The Healing Heart, and today I have a bit of a story to share with you. And I just gotta say that this whole video stuff, because I only have a few videos for YouTube, and I think I have like 3 subscribers, and yes, I am making videos frequently, but not always wanting to post them. So I've been working through this too, and it's actually a lot harder than I thought it would be. And I think that doing the videos has been very eye-opening for me at what I consider authentic for myself. Because when I do my writing and my drawing, I can show that and I can interpret it and I can write things. But when I speak, it's very important to me that I speak from my heart and that I speak my own truth. And yes, I can do that by doing a video that feels maybe scripted in some way or what have you. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is I just feel it's really important for me to use this as part of my own journey, to understand myself. And it also brings up things for me if I feel uncomfortable posting a video, if I feel uncomfortable doing something or saying something, then that gives me something to look at. And I can say, hey, okay, like this kind of freaks me out. Why does it freak me out? And a lot of it is, I'm sure what many of us would feel is judgment. Like, I'm wearing my sunglasses today because telling this story, if I go into angry cry face, or I call it angry cry face because when I cry, I'll give you a quick idea of what it looks like, okay? So when I cry, so that's it. So that's all you're getting. And that's what happens. So I'm just gonna cut right to the story and I'm gonna tell you because it's fresh, hot in my mind. And the reason why I don't want to keep this really personal, meaning I don't want to keep the story to myself or just to my close circle, why I want to share it, is because I am definitely not the only person who feels this. And I think it's important. I think it's just important to share. So anyway, it's a little story time. So get comfy for a couple minutes. I'll try not to make this too long. And grab yourself coffee like I have. It's my vice is this, I know. I'm trying to slow it down. So, as many of you know, and have probably already read through multiple outlets in my family, our story about Stevie Wonder. Stevie the Wonder Cat. What has transpired in the last 48 hours has been a mix of emotions, has been also very beautiful, and I just don't know, I'm just so lost for words because it's just been so crazy. But Stevie is our now past beautiful tiger cat who I posted tons of pictures of. He is one of 2 that we got at the same time. We have his twin brother as well, Lil. And so Stevie was very special for many reasons. And as you all feel about your animals, they are part of our family. They become such an integral part of our family. And we do humanize our pets and all of that. But Stevie was like a dog. I think he thought he was a dog. But Stevie was about children. He loved children. And any of you who know me personally know what we've been through just in the last 10 years. Particularly what our kids have gone through and what they've seen in that cat. I mean, that cat always knew what to do with the kids and was so gentle and followed the kids around. In the last 5 years has been very, very special for us because our son, who is on the spectrum, him and that cat could communicate to each other in ways that just blew our mind. In just the sheer gentleness of him and kindness. And he would follow our son around and lay beside him while he would play, or if he'd watch a movie. Like, this cat was just amazing. Anyway, very sadly, 2 months ago, he was not, our cats are not outdoor cats, they're indoor cats, and they've never gotten out, except for maybe, you know, Stevie would sometimes slip out onto the porch, but he'd stop and sit. So we think he slipped out. It was the end of March, and we think he slipped out at night. We had a little commotion going on at the door, and he may have bolted at that time. We don't know. None of us saw him get out. And so that 2 months, the last 2 months, has been grieving him, basically, because the posters, the walking, any of you have lost a pet, had a pet run away, you know. I mean, not knowing where he is, and the weather and all these things that run through your mind when your pet runs away. So we did the best we could, and we checked the shelter faithfully every day through the website. We didn't have to go in every day, but we had posters up. We did it all. And with what I do, I had to really work on separating my emotions from, you know, what was happening, because I didn't know if I was trying to find him, and I kept feeling he was alive, and the guidance that I was receiving from friends that also do this too, you know, we felt that he was alive, and I always felt an urgency, like he was stuck somewhere. Needless to say, we had kind of gotten to a point where we had just said, we just want to know where he is. We want to know, you know, we wanted an opportunity to say goodbye to him, to, you know, we'd hoped that he had found somebody and was in their house and enjoying life. We just didn't know what to think. And I'd been given some guidance in the beginning when he was gone that the number 4 was very important. So on May 5th, which is Saturday, we were cleaning out our basement, and we're getting ready to do some stuff in there, and I was taking the opportunity to do some work, and I went upstairs to make lunch for the kids and whatnot, and Rob was out, and my mom's at the door, comes to the door, and we had our door open, she was yelling for me with urgency, and, you know, not knowing what's going on, you know, I bolt to the door and look, and there she was holding Stevie. And Stevie was a big cat. He was 12 and a half pounds, all big old muscly, big tummy, beautiful cat. And he was so frail and so thin. So I took him right away, and you can imagine there was ugly crying going on all over the place. Like, it was like a dream seeing him, yet I was like, what do I do? Like, obviously he was really sick, and he was lifting his head, and he couldn't stand. He was far too weak. Part of the amazing part of the story is where he was found. We have a kind of an interesting little court that we live on, and with no plan of our own, there's some spiritual people around our court. One is tarot reader, and it was her backyard, and she just happened to look out and saw him lying there. Now, she didn't know that this was our cat for sure, but she thought it was. So she saw my mom, and anyway, that's how my mom got him. We figured that he must have been stuck somewhere or something. The storm may have blown him out of an area. He was really so light. Gosh, I gotta stop saying that's something else I gotta work on too. So we immediately, I went into my mom's house. I had him in my arms, and he, obviously, like, I didn't know, obviously he wasn't completely stuck somewhere for the whole 2 months, because he would have died before that. So he must have been somewhere able to get food, but there he was. And the first thing we did was we took some eyedroppers of water and started to put water into his mouth, and he was so thirsty. He was lapping it up and drinking it, and we took some wet canned food, and just happened, like, we don't feed our cats wet food normally, but my mom had a can on hand, so we started to give him that, and he literally almost bit my hands off trying to get the food. Like, it just felt so sorry for him, just so heartbroken. A lot of ugly crying. So we didn't want to give him too much of the food. We didn't want to make him sick any more than he was. And first thing we did, Rob got home, and there was so much relief that we had him in our arms, but at the same time he was in some grave state. And I just hope to God it wasn't too late. So we went straight to the vet, and I gotta tell you, the whole time that we had Steve in our arms, he was not crying in pain. He was very calm. He was licking us, reaching his paws up. I mean, this cat had very humanistic like qualities to how he would reach out to us. We took him to the vet and had x-rays done and had him all checked over, and everything came back, like, no broken bones, no problems like that. His blood work was all good, except for the fact that his liver had gone into such a state because of the not eating and all the severe weight loss that he had, and there was irreparable damage. So we took IVs and IV solution stuff home to administer IV fluids to him, make him as comfortable as possible. We had food through a tube that we could give him. And I prayed for a miracle, but the truth is, the miracle was happening right at that very moment, because how many times, how fortunate are we really to have had that moment with him, that he knew he was with us, he knew he was with us. You could tell he was very happy to be with us, but he came to us to die, and he wanted to be with us in his last moments, and Spirit allowed that to happen. Spirit helped us. There's a lot of things that we did as a family to help bring him home spiritually. Manifestations and moon ceremonies, all kinds of things that we did that really brought us together as a family. And I know that that's all part of it too. So the time with Stevie in that last day, that first and last day, the excitement of being able to hear him meow and look at us and respond and hold him and love him and kiss him and all of those things that we did always with him. It was amazing that he had time with each one of us, and he was with us. He died in our arms. He died in Rob's arms at 6:11 a.m. on the 6th, May 6th at 6:11 a.m. And what happened actually right before he passed, and to me this is very significant because I've not experienced this before, not in this way, to have someone pass, or have a cat, anybody pass right in front of me, and then actually be able to recognize the energy. So I had left the room and Rob was with him, and when I left the room he was following me with his eyes and looking at me, and if I'd say his name he'd meow at me, he'd reach his paw for me. So when I left the room, I had a feeling something was about to happen. And at this point, everyone else was really, we kept the focus on healing him And I knew whatever healing was happening, whatever healing I was able to help him with was, I knew it wasn't going to save his life, so to speak, or bring him back to perfect health. My intention was to do whatever the highest and best was and what he wanted. And that was a pretty amazing experience, because I know that that's in preparation for me to experience other things later on. And that was something I was never able to talk about. Even being able to tell you this right now, I was always too emotional. I couldn't even walk into a funeral home because I would feel the emotion so much of my own and everyone else that it was unbearable. You know, I'd walk up to somebody in a funeral home and I couldn't even spit words out. I felt like you know, here I am trying to offer comfort to somebody else, and I'd just be angry cry. And that's what would happen. So this is good for me. A lot of healing had happened while he was gone, and there was a lot of focus on being able to be there for him and comfort him and love him and really enjoy those last moments with him. And to be able to share that with my children, my husband, helped so much for them, and really gave clarity, some peace. So he passed. Sorry, no, I was saying I left the room, his eyes were following me, and so he was cognitively all there. I left the room and came back. When I had left the room and actually went to the washroom, I was overcome with a very strong energy, and I normally feel it coming in the top of my head, and it's almost like somebody's peeling tape or peeling something down my body. It's an energetic sense that I get. This was very intense, and it sat, and I felt unconditionally beautiful love and peace with it. And it was Steve, and it was his energy, and I knew it was, and I knew he had already left his body at that time. When I went back into the room, he had taken his last breath, and he was not there. His body kind of went for a little bit and minutes, and that was it. And to begin to tell you the experience I've had since, he has not stopped communicating with me since he's passed. And I think that had he have passed in a different way, had he have not gone missing, and it's hard to understand because it's hard to wrap our head around all the emotions and you know, you think, did I do something wrong? Is it my fault? Is it the guilt? And all these things that you go through. The 2 months that he was missing, I had gone through a lot of that. And I had come to a point of acceptance. I mean, I love him and I miss him, and I did not want him to die, especially for my kids, because watching them go through that was, you know, that little cat had been beside them through all my illness, with Rob through all my illness. Like, I reflect back and look at what everybody else went through when I was sick, and animals, they know, they sense, they're unconditionally loving. And when you have stuff going on, any of you who are animal lovers and have animals in your family, you know what I'm talking about. They just love you unconditionally, and for that I'm forever grateful. So I've rambled on so long. The point of what I really wanted to talk about is the communication that I've had with him since. That last day was nothing short of a miracle. How many people are fortunate enough to have those moments, or have a pet that's gone, that's left, that's run away, to be able to have that last bit of time to have him be with us in his last moments and to not die alone. It's nothing short of a miracle. These little miracles are happening every day. They happen in my life and they happen in yours. It's all the stuff that goes on around us that we go into that third dimensional type reality and drama and this and that, and when we get caught into that, we miss these subtle signs. And I may not have felt things as intensely as I did if I were in a different emotional state, and that's the truth of it. It does take practice to do that, and this is my life. This is what I love. This is not just something that I do, you know, here and there. It's spirit, and doing what I do is part of my every waking, breathing moment. And I love that. It's for me. So with that, guys, my message today, if you've made it this far into this recording, is that consciousness, the energy, the spirit of our pets, our loved ones, including our pets, your loved ones that are friends or family, know today that without a doubt that they are there. This physical, and I know some people don't like when I say, but this meat suit, this thing that we're in, allows us to experience this life, allows us to be here and have these experiences. But there's so much more to it, and I am eternally grateful for this awareness, not only for what it brings for myself and my family, but I'm grateful to be able to share. So know that your loved ones are with you. Know that your animals that you've loved in your life that are not in the body anymore and they're gone, they're still with you, and you can communicate with them. I'm just a regular gal. I'm just a regular person. I do angry cry faces. I'm just a regular person. And you can do this too. There's nothing different about me. Well, okay, let's say there might be a few things different about me. But anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for letting me ramble. Have a wonderful day. And peace out.